Not sure if I'm live yet, but if I am, hello. Hi everybody. This video is going to be to help brass and woodwind players out with getting started practicing Ode to Joy. So we had a really awesome virtual get together on Saturday yesterday. It was really, really awesome to see so many of you guys. Um, and what we did there was we started to work on a new song, Ode to Joy. Some of you may have played this before, but it's in a different key for a lot of you guys. And our goal with this is going to be to work on it using video conferencing while we're all home from school. And then eventually we're hoping to put together a little recording of it with everybody playing together. So there's a few things that are a little bit tricky about this song that I wanted to explain. After I finish this live video, I'll post the links to the sheet music in the comments. So if you haven't downloaded it yet, if you haven't looked at it yet, you'll be able to find it there. I'm also going to post some links to fingering charts for all brass and woodwind instruments. If you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll try to answer them as they come up. So first off, we're going to be playing this in concert C major. Concert C major means it's going to be in C for flutes, trombones, baritone, and percussion. It's going to be in D major for trumpets and clarinets, and it's going to be in A major for alto saxophone. So again, C for C for flutes, trombones, baritone, percussion, D for clarinets and trumpets, and A for alto saxophone. So the first thing I want to look at is the key signature for this. If you're a flute, trombone, baritone, or percussion player, it's in C major. Take a second and look at your music if you have it, or after I post it, look at the music and count how many sharps and flats do you have. Do you have any sharps and flats? No, you don't. So C major is going to have all natural notes. That means no notes will be sharps or flats. For trumpets and clarinets, take a look at your key signature. So we're in D major. You can use the circle of fourths if you still have that sheet. You can use that to help you figure out how many sharps you're going to have. We're on the sharp side of the circle. So you would count from the top, from our C. We would go, let's see which direction I'm going in. I might have this backwards because of where the camera is, but we'll go C, G, D. That's 0 sharps, 1 sharp, 2 sharps. So in D major, we'll have 2 sharps. Those sharps are F sharp and C sharp. That means every time you see an F written, no matter what octave it's in, it's going to be F sharp. Every time you see a C, no matter what octave it's written in, it's going to be a C sharp. And that's true for the whole thing. For alto saxophones, we're in A major. So let's count on our circle of fourths again. If we're at the top, we're going to go C, G, D, A. That means 0 sharps, 1 sharp, 2 sharp, 3 sharps. So A major has 3 sharps. That's going to be F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. That means every time you see an F, it's an F sharp. Every time you see a C, it's a C sharp. And every time you see a G, it's a G sharp. So once we have this key signature, look through your music and figure out which notes are going to be affected by it. So flutes don't have to worry about this. Flutes, you're lucky, you're in C major, so you don't need to worry about flats or sharps. Trumpets and clarinets, the most important note that you have in this song that has a sharp is the first note of the whole song. It'll be an F sharp because that's in your key signature. Alto saxophones, your first note of the song is a C sharp because C's are in your key signature. So those are the notes you're really going to have to look out for with this. Before we launch into the whole song, I wanted to actually go ahead and make sure we all are comfortable playing that note. So I'll start with brass because I have my trumpet here. So trumpets, you're playing your F sharp. Baritone, you're playing your E. For both of those notes, we're going to be using the middle finger. Hopefully you can see on my screen here. We'll be using your middle finger. And the note sounds like this. Ready? Try to play that note with me. I'll do it one more time and see if you can match the pitch. For trombones, you're playing your E natural. That's going to be in second position. So just a little bit out. Just very close in still to your first position, but we're in second position. For clarinets, you're playing your F sharp, and that's just going to be your top finger. For flutes, you're playing your E natural. That's going to be the same fingering as your F natural, except your right hand middle finger is down as well. I hope you guys can see this. Here's a fingering chart from, here it goes. It's a little bit hard to figure out the angles on here because it's all backwards. Here's a fingering chart you can look at. This is from your Essential Elements band book. The flute fingering is this one right over here. So if it's helpful, you can take a look at this and figure out your fingering for the first note of the song. By the way, that is from the page that has the song Razor's Edge. So if you have your binder, you can reference it there too. So this is the song we're talking about is Ode to Joy. And Razor's Edge is the one where you can find that E natural. So, and I'll be posting, if you missed the beginning, I'll be posting the sheet music for the song in the comments of this afterwards. So you'll be able to go back and see what I'm talking about. And just to refresh as well, we played this all together at a virtual meetup on Saturday, and we're going to be working towards all recording our songs. So the first step is for you guys to practice your parts on your own, and we'll try to figure out some times where we can meet up and get some help from sectional teachers and your usual program teachers. So now we have our first note. I forgot alto sax. Alto saxophone, you are actually open. You don't have any keys down to play your note. And your first note is going to be a C sharp. So now I'm going to go ahead and play the whole song so you can hear it. We'll start with that. Ready? So, when you guys are going about learning this song, once you have that first note down, you'll notice when you heard it just then, there was a lot of repetition. That's going to help you out with learning it. So I would break this down into 4 measure chunks. You have the first 4 measures, this phrase. And then that phrase, once you've learned it, is going to repeat almost exactly the same until the end of the phrase. So we went mi, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do, re, mi. We have that, and we're going to repeat that exact same thing. So listen to the second phrase now. This is the second phrase. It starts just like the first one. And now it's different for the last measure. Then this third section, the third set of 4 measures, is a little bit different, but it's still using all those same notes. So for this one, we're going to start on a concert D, which is an E for trumpets and clarinets, and let's see if I can transpose in my head, a B for alto saxophone. So this one. So that's a little bit different. And then we go back to our fourth phrase, which is going to be exactly the same as the second phrase of music. So we've gotten this mi, mi, fa, so, fa, mi, re, do, re, do. That phrase has happened 3 times now. So here's the last phrase, the last 4 measures of the song. And then you have the whole song. So when you're practicing, really focus on those sets of 4 measures. Once you have that first 4 measures, look at the second set. Notice how many notes are the same. Once you've figured that out, look at the last 4 measures of the song. Notice how many notes are the same. And then you can go back and you can learn that third set of 4 measures and you'll have the whole song down, which is really exciting. So, a couple things you can do if you're still struggling with this. Go slowly between any transitions that are tricky for you. So if you're having trouble, for instance, getting between the F and the G, if you're a trombone player, going from, because we're going to start in second position, da da, first position, fourth position, fourth position. If that transition between first position and fourth position is hard for you, just do it a few times in a row. You can go F, G, F, G. Hi, Amaya. I'm glad you're watching. So that's a way you can work on it. Another thing you can do is you can do what we do in class and sing through it using either your solfege syllables or your note names and try to finger along at the same time as you're singing. That's always a good strategy to use. And finally, plan where you're going to breathe. So in the videos that Miss Dupuy made for the strings, she talked about resetting the bow after every phrase. We have to do a similar thing. We have to breathe in between every phrase. So we'll be playing. And breathe. And then breathe here again. If you need to, you can breathe in the middle of the phrase too. So you could go. Breathe. But if you can, see if you can get through those 4 measure phrases in one breath. It's totally fine if you can't, and it's always better to stop and take a breath if you need to than to try to play if you're running low on air. So I hope this is helpful. If you have questions about the song, please go ahead and leave a comment. If you have questions about which notes are in your key signature or what that really means, you can also ask and I'll help you out with that. Like I said, we'll be posting the music for this song, in the sheet music, in the comments. I'll post it for all of the band instruments. And our goal is to get together in smaller groups a few more times and work on it in our sections, work on it with our classes, and then hopefully we'll be able to put together a little video where you can see us all playing. Oh, hi, Erin. Awesome. I'm so glad you guys tuned in. But yeah, so we'll be trying to put together a little recording where you're all playing along to probably a video of someone conducting or clap or a metronome or somebody clapping. And we'll try to sync those together and get a cool recording of both the band and the orchestra instruments playing together. So that's where we're going with this whole thing. Please let me know if you have any questions. And it was really great to see some of you guys on Saturday, and hope to see more of you all soon. Hope you guys are staying safe and doing well. Have a good rest of your day.